Hola, aloha, buongiorno, bonjour, ni hana namaste, ohayo, yakumasuma, zdravствуйте, sincha. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Brunel. How are you all? A new video. This time is the foundation testing and review. Was not the original foundation I wanted to go for. I was going to review the fairly new foundation from Estee Lauder, which is the new foundation, water something. Anyway, water fresh foundation, which turned out to be water rubbish foundation. The shade that I was given, which this time round I went inside John Lewis in West End and flagship store, and so you would think that anyway, the girl gave me the suggestion and it was absolutely horrific. It was ashy as hell. First of all, they didn't have the shade that she thought would be correct for me in store. Can you believe that? Brand new foundation. They didn't even have the sample for that at all. And I've given up on buying foundations without actually testing them out because I know what my skin is like. They usually turn out to be wrong. Thank God I actually tested that one and took a sample, because the sample that she gave me, which is for the next color, was ashy as hell. It was horrific. Halfway through, I stopped. So as an emergency, I'm now reviewing this one, which is also another sample that I got from Laura Mercier, and it is called the Silk Cream Moisturizing Foundation. I went to the counter and I said, I'm extremely oily. I need something that is for mattifying. And this is what the girl came up with. So I said, okay, fine. And when I've gone online to check, it's actually not meant to be for someone for mattifying at all. No, it's meant to be for people with very dry skin. I'm upset because it's a moisturizing foundation. Per my experience, let's just say I haven't tried it. I don't know that it's actually meant to be for people with dry skin, but I'm not going to argue against that. Anyway, you'll find out what I mean by that. Anyway, the color that I've managed to get is a color called Pecan, which is the color before the very last shade. And hopefully you'll be able to see. I'll go put it at an angle. Pecan is this one here, and this is the last shade. Comes in 11 shades, so not a massive amount of choice. But you can see clearly that that one is way darker than that. It's at least 2 shades darker. So I don't know how they can go from one shade to jumping a good 2-3 shades darker and nothing in between. Hello. Anyway, I wasn't going to buy the 2 different shades as the lady suggested so I can mix them together and get my shade, because to be honest, you should not have to go and spend money on 2 different foundations in order to get the right shade for you. No way. Considering the US this foundation retails at $48, that's nearly $100 that you'd have to spend, which $38, I don't know how much that will be in the UK money, but it's not cheap at all. Not cheap. So for you to have to buy 2 in order to get the right shade, no thank you. So I got Pecan anyway, so I played with that, and this is what I came up with, which feels super light. Actually, it is my experience. You'll find out a bit more mattifying, but we'll find out throughout the day how the foundation works. And yeah, so we decided to try that. Before I go, let me just read up on the claims of what it says here. It says, high pigment, high performance hydrating foundation creates a flawless, radiant canvas that lasts up to 12 hours. Makeup artists love how this award-winning formula feels comfortable on skin while hiding even hard to cover imperfections. I agree with that. So far, okay. And how natural it looks for selfies, photos, videos, and special events, as well as for everyday wear. It says here, moisturizing, long-wearing formula designed for normal to dry skin, smooths skin texture, and visibly evens skin tone. Color true pigment virtually disappears on skin for smooth, even application and blending. Medium to full coverage. And yeah, so luminous finish. Okay. So far, because I filmed my intro after having done a makeup, I don't see it being luminous. No. And evening out skin tone, don't know about. Becoming one with your skin tone, I've had to work for that, to be honest, to get it to this shade, because it wasn't particularly the perfect shade for me. But this is the result. It's not bad at all. Anyway, we'll test it for the rest of the day and we'll see how it goes. Before we get started, I've already primed my face with 2 primers. The first one is this one, which is the Cover FX mattifying primer with anti-acne treatment. Believe you me, it doesn't mattify jack beep for me. Honestly, it doesn't. And the next one is the ordinary high spreadability primer, which I love because it smooths the base and leaves it kind of reduces your the sizes of your pores and so on, and it leaves your skin feeling soft. So those are the two that I've got. Now I've got the shade here, which looks a bit light. Hopefully this blends into the skin, and that's where I've been wiping another cream, been filming another video. Anyway, it's a very, very thick foundation that you can see. So I'm assuming it's going to be like for proper full coverage. Let's see how bad it is. I've already had a fail, and I mean fail with another foundation that was going to review, which was the new foundation, nude, water nude, I think, or whatever, foundation from Estee Lauder. What a palaver. Absolutely horrific. Couldn't even try it. I have to step out. No. Anyway, so we're going to try this one instead, and not bad. A little bit very yellow. Ooh, very matte. I can tell straight off. Very matte. Very ooh, wow. Okay, this is, the color is a bit off, as you can tell, but it's not as bad as the one I had before. I think this one will be better applied with a beauty sponge rather than a brush. Yeah, okay. Definitely matte. Wowee. Look at it. Look at me. Oh my God. I don't know what's going on with that. Just about every foundation I've ever met is just a complete and utter fail. I mean, come on now. This is just... Okay, well, this is my face with the foundation on. Clearly, this is a bit too yellow. Way too yellow. But you should have seen the other foundation I tried before. If you think this is bad, oh man. Do you know what? Yeah, minutes into applying it, I've given up on that video. We're going to have to go back and get a different shade because that just wasn't going to cut it at all. Absolutely not. But there's too much yellow. But I'll work with it and I'll see what I can do. And voila, this is my face all finished. The time now is 6 minutes past 11. But to be honest, again, I've had this on for a good half an hour or so. And my face feels super light. And it does feel matte. So as you guys know, I didn't use a proper massifying primer. Or primers, I should say. Basically, I use them to help kind of give a smooth canvas, and that's just about it. The Cover FX one is not really mattifying. I haven't found it to be particularly mattifying, but I've got extremely oily skin. So I just wanted to test the foundation, see how long it lasts before I have to blot or anything like that. I'm going to be out today against the elements. The temperature is going to get to up to about, I think, 23 degrees. I might get a bit hotter in the car because I'll be driving quite a lot. We'll see, and I'll keep you updated. But yeah, so far, not bad. The color, I managed to work with it, and now it's not so bad after all. And let's see, hopefully it is a good foundation. Hey, it's now time for the final update, which is unusual, a lot earlier than normal. The time now is at 16:36, so I have not clearly had this foundation on for as long as I normally do, but that's just tough luck. Sorry, things to do, but I don't really need to hold on to it for too long because I know exactly how I feel about the foundation. And also there is a Formula One event that's going to go on live on YouTube at 5:30. So I'm going to be watching now. I won't be doing anything else for quite a few hours. Thank you very much. I am a car fanatic. So that's what I'll be doing. Sorry, got to get this over and done with. Anyway, with regards to the foundation itself. Now you can see, as you can see, the color itself did actually blend in quite well afterwards, despite the fact that it was super bright. It was quite yellow initially when you saw it. However, when you look at a different kind of lighting, there's more red in it, which is very strange. I have a feeling that's to do with my skin tone, which is very weird, which can take both yellow and red undertones. And if I can mix the two together, perfect. I've yet to find a foundation that's got both. with regards to the claims of foundation, it's a very, very weird, as I mentioned already before, whereby when I went for and I asked them for foundation that is mattifying, this is what the advisor gave me. When I went online, it said this is for a moisturizing foundation for normal to dry skin, which is not normally something that I go for at all. Having said that, having applied the foundation, I really can't see that it's actually for dry skin that is super, super moisturizing. It felt like a matte foundation. It actually held on, it's held up not too bad actually. I think the temperature got up to about 22 degrees, as hot as the hottest was about 22 degrees in the car. Considering I didn't use a super mattifying primer like Pecan, and on top of that, I didn't do some of the foundation hacks that I do for oily skin, which is kind of putting a patting powder onto my face first before I applied the liquid foundation. I didn't do that either. All I actually did, in fact, and I didn't do any baking either. All I did was just apply the foundation itself, and then I did a little bit of contouring and highlighting, and then on the highlighted area I applied the actual Sacha Buttercup powder, and then I just finish it off with my powder called Cola from Fashion Fair, which is more my skin tone, which helped to bring everything down and marry everything together. That's all I actually did. I didn't do any baking as such, so it hasn't held up, held up too badly. That is a positive. Color wise, it blended into my skin eventually. That is a positive. Now, okay, that's for me. That's where it stops. Thinking about the foundation itself, the rest of the face is not too bad. I did I did actually have to blot, but only insofar as using a blotting powder that I've got from MAC. I used that once or a couple of times. Actually, I blotted twice, so in between that time, so you can see that. And on top of that, I don't like, the biggest problem I have is that it's not visible here, but I don't like the fact that it actually emphasized all the tiny little hairs that I had. And by the time in proper daylight, believe me, we're not talking tiny little hairs. We are talking growing a full-on beard here. It looks as if I've got the beginning of one, and that's not a look that I want to go for. So I do not like that at all. In real life, actually, because I've got ring light here, everything's kind of super bright. This area here certainly gave me like a 5 o'clock shadow. I did not like that whatsoever. Any of the fine hairs I might have on my face, it's not very often that I would actually use waxing, because it's very painful for me, especially on this side. Then that showed every single little thing. Did not like it. Also, when I'm looking under a different light at normal daylight, the foundation looks very, very strange. Almost as if it's, I'm starting to lose the foundation in this area here. You may not be able to see it, but in real life, there is a difference. It's come off. Usually I can understand when the foundation comes off around the corners here, because, smile, talk and everything. So that's fair enough for creases, but it has it's got like a kind of grainy, kind of not texture but look to it, as if rather than the foundation being all together, is separating, but not separating in a way saying blocks, but almost like in fine small particles. It's separated into that, or congealed into that. It's a weird way of explaining it, but I don't like that at all. It didn't look smooth. It didn't look even. It just no. It does still feel light. It is medium to full coverage, but I would not do this full coverage with this. It just didn't feel right. It's quite a thick foundation, as you saw earlier, but again, it's not for me. My opinion, I know I will not be buying this foundation again. I also have a negative with regards to the number of color ranges. 11 shades only for Laura Mercier. Honestly, a big name like Laura Mercier, and all you can get are 11 shades, which are really, for dark skinned people, probably about 2 or pushing 3 shades. I think it's actually only just 2 shades which are appropriate. I don't think that's right. No, come on. Really? When you've got Lancome, we've got over 40 shades. Hello? Not that any of those 40 shades actually fit me, but then again, that's my funny skin. But it's a no. I'm sorry, but I've tried this one on extremely oily skin. When it comes to it being, as I said, oily, it's not too bad at all, actually, surprisingly, but it's not one that I'm happy with, and it's not one that I would buy again. And thank God I actually got a sample rather than buying the whole bottle. Thank you Thank you, Jesus. Aren't I sensible nowadays? Anyway, that is my review. You don't have to like it. As usual, you don't have to agree with me. You may also find that your products that you use them and they work for you, or you may find the products that I like, you don't like at all and you hate them. That's life. That's tough. And that's the way it is. Anyway, thank you very much. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.